So one of my viewers asked me if I would watch this video. It's called German Names That Sound Funny to Americans. So interested to see this. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of names from every country that people find interesting or unique. Yeah, I mean, tell me if your name comes up on this list. Tell me if what you think are interesting or funny names in German, if any. If you heard any like unique names. Yeah, let's watch and find out.
Just gonna leave it like that. Hey guys! Hey Rabbits, Trixie here, and today I want to talk about some common German names that sound funny when you pronounce them with an American accent. So German first names that will make Americans and other English speakers laugh when they encounter them for the first time. While for us Germans, they are completely normal. Maybe you remember I already made this video a couple of weeks ago where I spoke about English names that sound funny to Germans. I'm gonna put a link in the description.
That may be interesting to watch as well.
And this video today is kind of, you know, the other way around.
Yeah, tell me if there is any English names that you find funny. That would be quite interesting to know actually. And tell me why as well.
One more thing, I found so many German names that would deserve to be in this video that I had to pick the ones I liked the most. But if you guys enjoy this episode, there is definitely a chance of me making a second or even a third part, so let me know. Also, well, I already said one more thing before, so now it's actually two, but I promise this is the last thing. By German names, I mean names that are common in Germany. They're not necessarily of truly German origin. Sometimes it's impossible to say. Sometimes it's more like Scandinavian or Nordic or something like that. So I didn't care that much about that during my research. What mattered to me was, yes, this is a name that a German might have, and oh boy, if you pronounce that with an American accent, it's funny. So here we go. First one I want to mention is the name Jörg. And on a scale from...
Okay, I can already say, sorry, I know I don't want to keep stopping this, but it's one of my favourite names because one of my favourite footballers ever who is German, Jörg Alberts, who played for Rangers. I don't know if you remember him. Tell me if you remember him. The hammer, the best left foot I've ever seen. Scored so many goals against Celtic. One of my favourite players, so I love this name already, man. But in Scotland, we probably call him like George.
And on a scale from modern to old-fashioned, I'd put it around here. Not a name many boys have these days, but a lot of dads. So it's a totally normal, common dad name, I would say. Me, the German. Americans, on the other hand, probably find it pretty funny, as they would pronounce it jerk. Not very flattering, huh? I mean, I'm pretty sure that there are enough people out there who would deserve to be called jerk, but I dare to say that's not on most German parents' minds when they name their baby Jörg. It's actually simply the German version of the name George. So you're my daughter's new boyfriend, huh? From Germany? Well, you must know that Trisha has a habit of picking true jerks as her partner. What's your name, young fella? Oh, it's Jörg.
Jörg.
Trisha! Another German name that must seem awkward to Americans is this one. If you are an English speaker...
Okay, I've not heard this name before. I would actually see from first instance it might be a female name. Elke. And I guess it's like the animal in English, it'll be like the elk, the like thing that looks a bit like a moose or something, I think, is it? Elke. But it's quite nice, quite satisfying to say.
Speaker, how do you say it? Well, elk, I suppose. You know, like the deer, which is not as bad as being called jerk, but still a bit funny. And while thinking of elks and deer, I kind of came up with this letter. Dear elk, do you like music? Yours, Caribou. I don't even know why I included that. That's just very silly. Anyway, the name is actually pronounced Elke. Or like Elke, you see? And on the scale, I'd say it's around here. Let's have a look at the name Wolfgang next.
Oh, Wolfgang, or I guess we would say Wolfgang in English, but of course there's like famous Wolfgangs. My most favourite one, and again, maybe in Germany you probably remember better than me, but I remember there was a guy called, okay, I'll pronounce it more German, like Wolfgang Wolf, who was the like owner or manager of Wolfsburg, the football team. I remember playing a computer game, Championship Manager, when I was younger and seeing it, and that just always like was something that was so entertaining to me. Like, how did that come to be? Like, how is it possible someone with that name become the like owner or manager of Wolfsburg? It's crazy, man.
Which is more like here.
But obviously,
More
see, like
the
Mozart
grandparents' area.
is the most
Pronounced with an American accent,
famous
it's
one.
Wolfgang. And
Wolfgang,
yeah,
yeah.
honestly, I just wanted to mention that because I like imagining a gang of wolves when I hear it. You know, like a gangster wolf with a hoodie, with a necklace and sunglasses. Hey, Wolfgang, what's up? The design's available on Redbubble, by the way. Just in case you were thinking, damn, I need that on a sticker. Or a t-shirt, or a bath mat, shower curtain, a poster. You were not thinking that. Well, next up, almost as badass as Wolfgang, Reinhardt. Or
Reinhardt, yeah, man. It's like in English, some people maybe say like Reinhardt. Reinhardt, yeah, that is pretty cool. Is that something spelt with like a T at the end of it? Is that maybe just wrong?
or should I say, rain hard? Oh, Reinhardt, it rains hard. If you were a king, you'd rain hard. What is the matter with me today? I'm so cheesy. I'd put Reinhardt right here on our scale.
Reinhardt.
Funny to see these rather old-fashioned German names mean something cool or powerful this way. Time for another female name. What about Hella? It does
Hella.
not surprise me that this is amusing to some English speakers. Or in other words, hella funny. Get it? Hella? Hella funny?
This is hella stupid.
You may have heard Hella in connection with Hella, the German automotive part supplier. But it is a first name for
I think
women
I've heard
as
that
well.
before,
If you
actually.
don't believe me, check out Hella von Sinnen. That's a German comedian. Other German names that contain Hell are, for example, Helga and Helmut. Even though Germans, of course, say Helga and Helmut. Or let's take this name. You'd pronounce that
I'd say Trout.
Trout, Americans, wouldn't you? Elk, wolf, trout. Hey, soon we can open our own mispronounced German names zoo. Similar to Elke, the correct way of saying this is Traute. Traute. And it's quite old-fashioned, if you ask me.
Yeah, I've
You can
never
also
seen
find
it.
Waldtraut,
Waldtraut?
which would be wall trout for Americans. But I don't really know what that's supposed to be. I mean, other than trout being stuck to the wall. Tell me if you'd buy a wall trout sticker. My guess was no, so I didn't make one yet. But I'm open, you know? This one is the next male name.
Willibald. Okay, man. Yeah, that must be an old name as well. Like, I've definitely not heard these last couple of names mentioned anywhere as compared to some of the earlier ones in this video. Tell me if you've heard that. Willibald.
I want to present to you. Just try to pronounce it with an American
Willibald.
accent. It's okay, just try a couple of times. I'll wait. So
Willibald.
I'd say that's Willibald. And I don't think I have to explain why that could be considered funny. Willy, bald, Willy. Well, aren't they all? But there's also Harry Bald. If that's not a paradox, I don't know what is.
Is that name Harry Bald? That is amazing, man. That's like, yeah, that's for sure my favourite I've seen so far. Harry Bald.
It's actually Willibald and Heribald around here on the scale, but yeah, no way I could have not.
Okay, that one is
included
funny,
these two.
actually.
One left on my name list for today. This one here. What would you say? Not
I would say like Isold, but I'm sure it's like Isold or something. Isolde.
in Germans. Male or female? How do you pronounce it? Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's a rather old-fashioned female German name. And you say it Isolde. Why do I
Isolde.
believe that this
That's
could
pretty
be
beautiful.
somewhat funny for Americans? Just a guess. Richard, hey! Hey, Jackson! This is the German girlfriend I sold. What? How much did you get for her? What other German names do you know that you find funny?
Very
Any
good.
Germans here with the names I mentioned? If so, rest assured that I did not mean to offend anybody. My name has been made fun of plenty of times, be it because of Trixie sounding like a porn star name or Svenja meaning pig in Russian. So I hope that you are not mad at me and you also found this video entertaining. Did you ever make experiences with somebody not being able to pronounce your name? Or somebody finding it kind of strange or funny? Tell me more in the comments.
Okay, so yeah, pretty cool. That was quite interesting as well. Like, I'd love to know maybe like, because again like these are maybe like the older generation. So I guess you could compare it similar to in English. There's a lot of like older names that like might seem funny, but what about the younger generation? Is there any like younger? Like, is there any names that are quite funny or out there that you've heard for maybe like your friends have called their kids, maybe you've called your kids funny names? Tell me what you think about this one. Do you know anybody with any of these names? Maybe you got grandparents or something like that with these names, but Willy Bold, Harry Bold, yeah, that's for sure my favourite. Tell me what you think about these. Thanks.